Julie. The best.
I'll take those for you.
Tom, Cassie.
Pauline. Leah's parents didn't feel it'd be a proper funeral unless there was an ordained minister present. I'm sorry.
At least they're having the service here, and not in the Baptist church.
I think Leah should have been the one to make the decision. Still, there's no point in arguing about it. You'll have to frock up here.
I'm afraid it's family only. I just wanted to I only yeah, okay. Excuse me, can you tell me when confession is?
Scusi, non capisco.
Yes, we're a fraction
You
behind,
promised the
Mr.
report
Fasseri.
back yesterday. Just a moment. Hello, surgery. Could you hold the line, please? Hello? Oh, damn. I've cut them both off.
No sign. Still no answer from home.
Maybe we should get a temp in for a couple of days.
No. Julie might see that as a vote of no confidence.
But it's becoming difficult, William. She forgot to send the test to the lab yesterday. Mr. Davidson's blood samples were left out overnight.
Yeah, Bags, I don't tell him to redo the fast and give more blood. I mean, we all feel for Julie, but we're stuffing up the patients.
Well, we just all have to pull together a little bit harder. Something that affects the whole surgery, the whole practice, not just Julie. Requires a concerted effort.
Then at least let's roster answering the phone. Hello,
I
surgery.
think I'll drive round to Julie's to see if she's in.
Yes.
If she's at home and she's not answering the phone, it probably means she doesn't want to see anyone.
She can't hide herself away from the world and what's happened. No one can. Besides, you're the one who was adamant that she needs friends around her, that she shouldn't be alone.
William, really, it'll be better if she comes to us of her own accord. Give her a bit more leeway, a bit more time.
Excuse me, Father, what time's confession?
Reconciliation.
Oh, yeah.
Well, what's wrong with her right now?
Don't we,
If you like, but we prefer to keep it more informal these days. I'm Father Kieślowski, John.
Julie Winters.
Make yourself at home. Now then, what's on your mind, Julie?
Do we do the bless me, Father, for I have sinned and all that?
You can. But most people are more comfortable just to have a chat about what's troubling them.
Well, it's been a while.
So I gather.
Well, last week, down the street where I work, the surgery,
Yes.
there's this little girl, you see. There was this little Bess, and she's only 3. And I...
You were close to this child?
No, that's not it. It was my fault. It was me. You see, I was the one who...
Take your time. Yes?
No,
Julie?
I can't.
Julie?
Poor little pet. God must have really wanted her with him.
I think it might be hard for Leah or Julie to see it that way.
It wasn't appropriate to say anything before the funeral, but Synod concurred with Council Parish last night. Voted not to proceed with the restoration.
I thought you were all going to reconsider.
Pauline, the council's that far away from condemning it. It barely even looks like a church. It'd cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to repair, money that could be spent on the school or perhaps a refuge.
This is a refuge. As good as. And are the people around here entitled to a place to pray?
St. Mark's is only a few miles away.
With all due respect, I don't think the street kids and the old men from the hostel would go to your church.
I don't see why not.
No. I'm going to fight this merger.
As your rector, I instruct you to accept it.
I've been a deacon since before you were in theological college, Tom. If merit had anything to do with it, I'd be the rector in this parish, and you'd be taking orders from me.
Well, you're not. And your presence here running this tiny little branch church is unnecessary.
Small is an advantage. I know the community here. I do make a difference.
You so very certain about that?
What I am certain of is that the people here love St. Peter's. Now, I am going to recirculate the petition. I'll appeal to the bishop. I will do everything I can to keep this church going. That is, of course, short of growing a penis.
Excuse me, Reverend.
Tom Braithwaite.
Pauline?
I've gone to the rectory for a moment.
She said I can drop in any time.
Can I help?
Can you tell me, how was the funeral?
Very simple. Very peaceful.
And, Bess, where's she buried?
Arlington Cemetery.
And, Leah and her parents, I saw them when, what are they, how are they coping?
I think it's brought them closer. At least they've found they can comfort each other. And you? How are you doing?
I suppose everyone knows. You're a priest. You tell me why.
Why?
Why God let me run over that baby and why he let me ruin Leah's life.
The mind of God is far too complex for our limited intellects.
That's just words.
Nothing happens that God doesn't allow. So we must trust he had a good reason.
Punishment. Karma. I got what I deserved.
Why do you say that?
I've done a few rotten things in my time. Nothing like murder or grand theft, but, whole pile of little things, you know. Had an affair with a married man.
We shouldn't try to second-guess God. Just hold firm in your faith. Trust in his love. In his forgiveness.
Leah will never forgive me.
Bess's death has brought Leah back to God. I think she'll find it in her heart to forgive you.
Do you? Leah,
No.
Please.
Please, just leave me alone.
I just want to talk to you for a moment.
Please. Can you help me? Just stay away from me. I don't want to see you.
I just want to ask.
Take these and go, please.
You've caused us too much pain already. For pity's sake, don't make it worse. Take these. Leave us be.
They're for Bess.
They're not ready. Julie forgot to turn the sterilizer on last night.
Blast. I'm terribly sorry, Mrs. Lee, but I don't have the instruments I need to do the procedure at the moment.
We've been waiting for 40 minutes.
Any chance you could return later?
I made this time weeks ago.
William, you got any idea where Julie's put the PET reports?
There's the reports. Now, Mrs. Lee, what time would you like to come back?
Julie?
It's all right, William. I'm sorry I'm late. What's the matter?
Well, their accounts.
Oh, look, just give me a minute, all right? And I'll look for the reports.
12:30. 1.
Julie, are you all right?
Perfectly. That's lunchtime, Mrs. Lee.
Mom, isn't that the lady who ran over that little girl?
Julie, why don't you go on upstairs? Grab yourself a cup of tea.
I don't need tea, William.
What?
I only have lunchtime. I took time off work for this.
Well, I'm not in the habit of making appointments for when no one is here.
I beg your pardon?
Julie, why don't you take a break and let us handle all this, huh?
Why don't you all go and get stuffed?
How are you feeling now?
Terrific.
Obviously not. Julie, I feel bad enough having asked you to take the car. I know it's nothing compared to how I'd feel if I'd been driving the car myself.
Well, it wasn't you, Ian, was it? So breathe easy. In fact, you can all look at me and thank God it wasn't you.
Is there anything we can all do to help?
What are you offering?
Well, I can't make the reality of it, the pain of it, go away. But maybe I can help ease it.
How? With talking? Counseling? No thanks, Ian.
I know you might not feel comfortable with me. There's an excellent woman, a grief counselor who works
No,
here.
Ian, all right? The last thing I need is a practitioner listening sympathetically, telling me that everything I'm feeling is perfectly natural and will ease with time.
Julie,
or
I'm
dishing
not-
out the tranks to help me get through.
We all love you. I want to help you. I'm there if you need me, anytime.
I hear what you're saying, but that's not what I want.
What do you want?
I want to curl up into a ball and disappear and have everyone leave me alone.
No, it'd only take 5 minutes. And we could have a spot of lunch somewhere en route.
No thanks, William. I'd rather walk.
All right, well, how about we get together for dinner tonight? We could eat out, or I could bring in something from the deli if you prefer.
Another night, maybe, eh?
Well, I'll phone you in the morning, make some plans.
Why don't we leave it for a bit?
Julie, we're all in this together, you know.
Really?
Don't shut us out.
Do you want me to ring for a temp before I go?
No, we can do that.
I don't know how many days.
Take all the time you need. The important thing is that you should be feeling rested.
Thanks.
I do wish you'd stay here with us, Julie. Plenty of room. We wouldn't interfere. You could have all the privacy you need.
Spare me the special treatment, William. It only makes things worse.
Would you mind giving me her phone number? Her address?
That's not our policy, I'm afraid. Why don't I get her to call you?
To be honest, I don't think she will.
Well, in that case, you can hardly expect me to give you
Mr. Sharp, I feel very strongly that Julie needs help. Needs someone to talk to.
We are her friends here. Her family, really. And we're trained in counseling.
But not in spiritual matters.
Now, I don't doubt your good intentions.
Which means you probably do.
But I fail to see what you can offer Julie in real terms that we can't give her here.
Another perspective, perhaps?
That's all very well, but we must allow Julie her privacy.
Sometimes there are things more important than privacy.
Well, I'll pass your message on, and if Julie needs your help, I'm sure she'll ask you for it.
I'm not.
Michael? Nothing's wrong, why? Oh, darling, I'm so sorry. I completely forgot the time difference. I got your letter and your photo. Kristen looks lovely. Her parents too. So you'll be at their farm at Christmas then? No, that's fine, that's fine. It's all I ever wanted was for you to be happy. Listen, Michael, you know those things I got from Graham? You know, the old photos and Gramps' war medals and that little bit of jewellery? Yeah. Don't ever throw them out, will you? They're to hand on to your kids someday. You know the little pearl bracelet I gave you that your dad gave me? Yeah, I thought you might like to give it to Kristen. Well, if she's really as special as you say she is. Nothing's up. Just occurred to me, that's all. Things do occur. Yeah. All right, darling. Listen, I better let you two get some sleep, eh? Night. Michael, I love you as big as the moon and the stars.
Still rushing a bit as we build to the end. Savour each note. Revel in it. Each note happens only once, then it's gone. But we're getting there. 2 more rehearsals to go. See you Thursday.
Have you contacted the bishop yet?
He hasn't returned my calls. And he goes overseas tomorrow.
I'll put in a good word. JC HQ.
I've got his mobile number if you need it. Thanks. It's only White Anne's holding hands that keeps these walls together.
I know the feeling.
Mr. Sharp mentioned I called in?
No.
I thought maybe I could talk you into giving me a hand with the street kids. Well, yeah, all of them have got something wrong with them, and they won't go near a doctor, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, they better stay away from me too, in light of my recent track record with kids.
Julie, you are one of the most careful, caring people I've come across.
You wouldn't know.
Well, I do. What about the day Murray and I moved in? You were over there with a casserole, offers to babysit the kids.
Oh, yeah, big effort.
You have a God-given sense for people in need.
Then why did God allow me to run over a child then?
Well, I don't agree with Tom. That God somehow allowed you to run over Bess. Allowed her to die. Or that could be in any way interpreted as punishment. Look, it's stuff you probably grew up with, but a lot of thinkers in the church have moved on from that. Everything on the planet is the result of the laws of nature. Your accident was the unfortunate consequence of cause and effect. No more, no less.
If God made the laws, why didn't he make the effects good?
And take away our free will? We are influenced by what happens to us, but we choose how we respond. If my God was the interventionist old Tom Paines, I wouldn't be working in the church. I would be out of here like a shot.
How do you see him then?
Well, personally, I don't see God as he at all. More an entity. Maybe even a she.
I'm sorry, this is too much. I can't allow you to continue in this vein. You're misleading, Julie. Where does it end? With our mother who art in heaven?
Why not? Look, if you insist on ascribing a gender to God...
The Bible ascribes...
Then what about God as love, creativity, gentleness, compassion, qualities traditionalists like you like to think of as mother, female?
Julie, perhaps it'd be better if you came to see me tomorrow.
Why? Do you think you two would have worked out who's right by then?
Can we make a time?
No, thanks. You're wrong about Leah. Maybe you're wrong about God, too.
Julie? What's your address? I'll call round later. Your number, then. I'll phone.
Look, no more wise words, okay, Pauline? Anyway, no one really knows for sure, do they?
I don't think arguing in front of that poor woman helps anyone, do you? It especially doesn't help her.
Julie was so distraught after your counselling yesterday that she marched off to Leah to beg her forgiveness.
Well, if that's what she thought I meant, she's obviously not thinking straight.
Of course she's not. Tom, you're great with the businessmen and social wives at St. Mark's. Why not accept that I might be better with the Julies of this world?
Because what you are doing is customizing Christianity to the consumer. And that is not the basis of our church.
Whose church, Tom? Some of you act like it's a club. And in this diocese, a men's-only club at that. One with a stern Victorian father figure as patron, as God.
And you feminists had called Jesus sexist because he was God made man.
Human. And a circumcised Jew. If only men can represent him, you better fit those criteria too.
Paul said, I permit no woman to have authority over men.
Paul said, in Christ there shall be neither male nor female. He saluted co-workers Priscilla and Aquila, told wives like Cassie not to wear pearls or costly attire. Your interpretation of Paul is anything but consistent.
Yours is verging on the heretical.
Heretical?
Yes. And that's what I'll be compelled to tell the bishop when he sees us tomorrow.
He's agreed to a meeting.
A short one. Apparently the onus is on you to prove the viability of St. Peter's. And to prove yourself, too.
Oh, Julie. What's this?
Mine is skirmish with the dishwasher.
Oh, you come to join us for breakfast? We're outside.
No. I've come to resign.
But why now? So suddenly? Well, surely it's just a matter of a few days or weeks until you're feeling...
Till what? Till I get over it? Till everyone forgets? The memories are still out there, William, sitting in the driveway.
Flagellating yourself won't help.
You're right. I'll simply forget the whole thing ever happened.
Why don't you fly over to Perth, spend some time with Michael?
How can I spend time with my son, my child, when I've robbed Leah of hers?
You won't let your friends do anything, or your son, and now you want to resign your job. Do you really think that's going to help?
Every day for the rest of my life, there'll be a moment when I will get a really sick feeling in the pit of my stomach, when I remember that, yes, I actually killed a child. And nothing is ever going to help that, William.
We go back so many years, Julie.
Oh, look, just don't turn it into war and peace, William, all right? Just sign the bloody forms.
Right. Just give me a minute and I'll get the details down.
Julie,
Had to see William.
how are you going?
Fine, fine, fine. It's just a scratch, so don't you go on about it too. Good book?
Brief History of Time.
Yeah. You've been reading that on and off for 3 months. You must have come up with the meaning of life by now.
Oh,
So what have you learned?
maybe now's not the best time.
Of course it is. It's very appropriate.
Well, perhaps we might eventually learn how everything happens, but there may be no why, no meaning.
So the universe created itself.
It's just a theory, Jules, the Big Bang. You know, the universe expands until it can no longer support itself, and then it implodes into a microdot, and maybe it, expands and explodes again in a Big Bang, and so on.
That's the hideous thing about science, isn't it? Everything's reduced to cells and particles.
There you are.
Science can't even cure the common cold. Sure, it saves some lives, but not all. Don't believe in science and medicine anymore. I mean, if there isn't anything real that we can believe in, if there's no life after this where we can put things right, then what's the point to it all?
Could it be for us all to experience the journey and not the destination?
Well, if that's the case, everyone, I've signed on for the wrong trip.
Lou's over there.
There you go. Get on the outside of that.
If you want to wash up, if you want to shower, if you want to laundry, please don't come to the
Julie.
Murray, some old clothes for St. Peter's or the Salvos?
I'll take it.
Thanks, hon. Julie, can you spare me a few seconds to give me a hand with these?
No, I wanted to get back.
We are really short of helpers this morning.
Yeah, okay, just a few minutes.
Yeah, thanks. Look, I'm sorry about that fracas Tom and I subjected you to yesterday. Jamie, get your school gear on. Bus will be here in a minute.
Okay.
I'm worried it confused you. Made things worse.
I'm all right.
Yeah, well, it's true that I'm supposed to take orders from Tom. But I'm the one with a doctorate in theology, not him.
How come you're not a priest, then?
Because in this diocese, they do not ordain women, no matter how qualified you are. I consider food in their bellies to be the word of the Lord, and full, they're less likely to steal or prostitute themselves.
You have your kids for such a short time. How can some mothers not want to know about them? And other mothers, like, I think about Leah all the time. And all the things she's never going to do with Bess. Like Christmases, birthdays. Even just taking her down to the swings in the park.
Why don't you ask Michael to come home for a bit?
He's too busy with his job and his studies and his new family. He's got a girlfriend, Kristen. Apparently it's quite serious. They spend a lot of time up at her parents' farm on the weekends. Michael's got a whole new life now.
Yes, well, you and Michael have always been really close.
Well, they say when the son marries, he becomes part of the girl's family.
As long as you don't drive him away.
Why would I do that?
To punish yourself. Look, same as accidentally hurting yourself every now and then. Dealing with things in your own way, your own time is one thing. As long as it's not self-destructive.
It was an accident.
You don't have to do penance, Julie.
Pauline, phone. Something about the bishop.
I'll be right back. Yeah. Yes, I understand that. 15 minutes? That's hardly any time. No. I'll be there. Her behavior is erratic, at times irrational. She swings between depression and acting normally.
Only to be expected after trauma.
The stuff she gave for the clothes drive, most of it was new. And she included a $500 check.
What?
I think she is in danger of pushing everyone out of her life. I'm worried what she might do.
She's already rejected us once. What are we supposed to do? Walk in, scoop her up and say, we know better than you?
If she's in danger of doing something self-destructive, yes.
Julie's depressed, but she's not stupid.
No, she's not stupid. She's in pain. Intolerable pain.
Will you come with me?
Yes.
All right. William? Hello? Julie? 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 Oh, she's not here.
Bank statements, insurance papers, checkbooks, jewellery, some old photographs.
Any...
No letter, no.
For Michael. I had hoped you were wrong, that she won't do anything. Bunch of financial papers. Is that all she thinks things come to?
Is there anywhere else you think she might go?
I've no idea. No idea at all.
I want to curl up into a ball and disappear.
We all love you.
Leo will never forgive me.
You are one of the most careful, caring people I come across.
Think about
If you want God's forgiveness,
and all the things she's never going to
start by forgiving yourself. If you want God's love, start by loving yourself. Start by loving yourself. Start by loving yourself.
Pauline!
I've got to go. An emergency.
But what about the bishop?
Oh, blast the bishop. That's it. That's the way. Just sip it. I call William. You have to see a doctor. She came round almost immediately.
How many did you swallow?
20. You won't have to worry about a stomach bump. Not after the hevo I just had. Pauline, the bathroom's a real mess.
I'll fix it.
You're angry.
Of course I'm bloody angry. I'd never have believed that you could be so bloody... What about Michael and the rest of us, hmm? You're not alone in this, you know. Couldn't you at least have tried to let us help?
I'm sorry.
You didn't even call me. Well, you seem much better than you have any right to expect to be, but you're going to have to see someone. You know as well as anyone that a suicide attempt requires psychiatric assessment, so... Why?
It seemed the best thing. Let everything just go. The memories and the guilt, pain, shame. Just go.
This is a dreadful place.
Yeah. I didn't want you or anybody else to know where to find me. I didn't want you to have to deal with it.
Well, thank you for not going through with it. I don't know about you two, but I could do with a strong cup of tea.
Oh, William, you didn't ring Michael, I hope.
No, we didn't ring Michael.
It was as if I was standing on a cliff, just about when I heard what you said about forgiving myself. But how do you forgive yourself for killing someone?
By treating yourself the same way as you treat a friend or your own son. Nurture yourself.
I can't. Something's stuck.
Grief. The fact you haven't yet buried Bess.
I had flowers for her, but they wouldn't even let me give those to her.
It's no matter. Tomorrow you can have your own ceremony for Bess. Tomorrow you can start to let Bess go. God is full of compassion and mercy, slow to anger and of great goodness. As a parent is tender towards his or her children, so is God tender to those who respect God. Lord, don't let Bess's death be in vain. Allow us all to learn something from it. Allow Julie, a human of your creation, the courage to forgive herself the way she constantly forgives other people. Allow her to see in herself the goodness and wisdom we see in her. To care for herself the way she cares for all of us.
For a moment there, I thought you'd converted me to the Protties. Funny thing is, though, I still feel more comfortable with the mix. No offence.
Churches like families, familiar habits, familiar rituals. And Father Kozlowski had some pats as good bloke.
Yeah, but I'd still like to help out at St. Peter's once in a while, if that's all right.
It's been closed. Amalgamated with Tom's church.
Oh, can't you do something?
The bishop offered me a few minutes to convince him of my worth, but I decided not to take him up on it.
Why not?
I'd still be under Tom's thumb. The powers that be in this diocese reckon that St. Paul, for some excellent but unknown reason, says I can't run a parish because I'm a woman.
So what'll you do?
Murray and I have been discussing packing the family up, going to Adelaide or Perth.
You'll be missed.
A lot of people I'll miss here, too. Julie, about that check.
I want you to keep it. Give it to the street kids or something, but what you did for me, you really helped me.
You helped me, too. It was me you called. You said it was my words pulled you back. It confirms I do have something to offer. You see, if I go to Adelaide or Perth, I can be priested.
We'll do that. You'd be a lot better than half those black frock men out there. Thanks for waiting.
Anytime.
William, I thought after I see Ian, I'd go over to Perth and visit Michael for a little while, meet his girlfriend.
Good idea.
And when I come back, I'm going to hit the convent and do a retreat. So help me clear my mind a little and clean up my act a bit.
You always had a good act.
And perhaps, if you haven't got another receptionist by the time I
Julie,
get back...
as far as I'm concerned, you never went away.